Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer 40k, and today we're going to take a look at the Chaos Knights and how we can start a Chaos Knights army. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about what exactly a Chaos Knights army is, what's so special about it, and then we'll take a look at some units we can grab to start our forts with before looking into other things we can expand upon those initial purchases with to further build our army with, and finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use as some inspiration for creating your own Chaos Knights army, or indeed copy ours if that's what you wish to do. And so, what exactly do we get with a Chaos Knights army? So, first of all, obviously, it's a Chaos-aligned army. Fits into that big spectrum of armies. It's an army of all super heavy vehicles, and it has a special Knight Lance detachment rule for the army that allows you to get some command points while playing with a super heavy detachment based on how many models you're including in your army, based on some certain things. You can make one of these super heavy vehicles your warlord and a character, which is all really cool. And you know, you're going to get command points with it, so it's not going to harm you in any way. You might not get as many command points as some other armies at the same points value, but you will get command points to play with. Now, this army is a low model count, as you would expect from an army of all super heavies. As a heads up, the sample army list we've got at the end of the video is 5 models in 1,000 points. That's it. However, with so many few models, they're all pretty durable. They're super heavy vehicles. They also all pack a punch, and this is a knight army that really does have a good ability to be quite good in a fight up close and personal in melee. So if you're looking for, some big, scary, titanic monsters that want to go up and punch and squish things underfoot, this is the army for you. With that said, let's get looking at where we can begin with this army. Alright, and so where can we begin with our Chaos Knight army? Now, I have picked the start for this army to be the models that came inside that initial Chaos Knight box set. So if you did pick up that particular box set, the models you have available to you in that box set can be used as the starting point for this army perfectly. Now, that means we are going to talk about the Knight Abominant, which is one of the many different variations, and it's Chaos Knight specific model. Now, what's really cool about this particular Chaos Knight is it's a Psyker. So you've got this giant psychic model, which is pretty awesome. Knight Abominant's pretty standard in his Knight sort of stat line. Strength and toughness 8, 24 wounds, 3 attacks, 3+ save, weapon skill, bliss skill 3+, all pretty standard. He's got some cool, unique weapons of his own. He can have his Electro Scourge, which is a strength user, -2 AP, damage 3, and each time you make an attack, you make 3 hit rolls instead of 1 with this weapon, which is pretty cool. He's also got his Titanic Feet. He can have a Bale Mace on there as well, and he's got the Volkite Combuster as well, which is that awesome heavy 6, strength 10, -1 AP, damage 3. And each time a wound roll of a 6, it inflicts 3 mortal wounds in addition to any other normal damage. So, some pretty cool stuff. Like I said, he can have a bunch of different upgrades available to him, and he's also a Psyker, which is really, really cool. Knowing 2 Psychic powers standard, which is also really nice. So he's not just, like a little Psyche, he's a pretty decent one as well. Alongside this model, we are going to talk about War Dog Carnivores, because I think Chaos Knights, they really love getting up and close. So War Dog Carnivores are a War Dog variation that is much more combat orientated. You have their Reaper Chain Talons, which can choose to either strike or sweep. If they strike, they're at +4 strength, -4 AP, damage 3. Or the sweeping value allows them to strike at their base strength of 6, -3 AP, damage 1, but you make 2 hit rolls instead of 1 for each attack with the weapon, with 5 attacks in each. Pretty cool stuff. Now, you can take War Dogs in units, which is pretty awesome, and they're allowed to move off independently and do their own things after the initial start of the game, which is pretty cool. And you can take a couple of different weapon options for their shooting. They can either have the Diabolos Heavy Stubble, which is a heavy 4, strength 5, no AP, damage 1 weapon, or the Havoc Multi-Launcher for heavy D6, 48-inch range, strength 5, no AP, damage 1, but it is indirect fire and blast as well. So you've got some options on what you want to do. You can also have their Slaughter Claws on them, which are ×2 strength, putting them at strength 12, -3 AP, damage D3 +3. Great for fighting against enemy knights and stuff like that. Other than that, they are pretty much the same as Armigers. They've got those Same sort of basic stats like we said, strength 6, toughness 7, 12 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 8, all pretty solid stuff. Now, where can we go to expand upon our force? Now, obviously, those two initial box sets are the only two actual Chaos Knight kits. The rest of the Chaos Knight models, you're going to need to buy some of the Imperial Knight kits, and like you can see pictured here, do a little converting or some really cool, nice dark paint jobs will get you those Chaos-themed models. For this, if you're wanting to build the Wardog Executioners or Wardog Huntsmen, you're going to need Armiger Helverins or Armiger Warglaves in order to do so. If you're wanting to build a Knight Despoiler, you're going to need to pick up the Imperial Knight Warden kit. And if you're wanting to build a Knight Tyrant, you're going to need the Knight Castellan or Knight Valiant kit. So just some things to remember there. Now we're going to talk about those Wardog Huntsmen first. The Huntsmen are one of the other options you can take. A sort of mix between shooting and combat variable on these. You can take Daemon Breath Melty Guns, which are really nice. You've got the Daemon Breath Spears on them as well. Or Reaper Chain Talons as well, which you can see pictured there, which is all really nice. Like I said, these are sort of a midway point. Not all shooting, not all combat, so that mid sort of point Wardog for your army. On the other hand, you have the Wardog Executioners. These are all shooting. So they're going to have the Wardog Autocannons, which are heavy 2d3, strength 7, minus 2 AP, damage 3. Pretty good for taking out enemy knights with that strength of 7 on the wet guns. And you can also put some melty guns on them as well for some additional points instead of the heavy stubbers, which is going to give you that little bit more punch against enemy knights and enemy vehicles as well. Now, the Knight Despoiler is another option you have available to you. This is another one of the sort of middling sized knights. Knight Despoiler can have a variety of different weapons, from the Despoiler Battle Cannon, which is heavy 2d6, strength 8, minus 2 AP, damage 3 blast weapon. It can have a thermal cannon on it. It can also have other cool weapons like the Warp Strike Claw or the Reaper Chainblade, Rune Spear rocket pods, and the Twin Hellstorm autocannons on its back as well. Like I said, this is a medium-sized knight, so strength and toughness 8, 24 wounds, same as that Knight Abominant we had at the start. If we're wanting to go with something a little bit bigger, you can look at the Knight Tyrant. Now, this is the bigger version of the Knight. 28 wounds, 4 attacks, strength and toughness 8, 2+ base save on the model. You can have a variety of different weapons once again. The Ectoplasma Decimator is a particular favourite of mine. You can supercharge it to be heavy 2d6, strength 9, minus 4 AP, damage 3 blast, and doing some mortal wounds out, potentially to yourself if you overheat it. You've got the Brimstone Volcano Cannon there as well for heavy D3, strength 16, minus 5 AP, damage D6 plus 8 blast, which is really good for taking out enemy knights and enemy vehicles and stuff like that. All in all, this thing just packs an absolute bunch of firepower. You can see it's got its 2 shoulder-mounted weapons, it's got the carapace-mounted weapons, it's got the 2 sort of ones near its chin, plus its 2 cannons on its arms. Just an absolute amount of firepower coming out of this model for your army that's just going to blow away so many things on the tabletop. But where can we go to look at building our army? And like I said, we are going to build this initial force based around that Knights box set that came out for the Chaos Knights. So if you have that box set available and you grab that, this is a great way to get started. So first of all, we've got our Knight Abominant. This is of course going to be our Warlord. So we've gone with Infernal Quest as our Warlord trait, which is really nice. This just means we've got objective secured on this Warlord, which can be really useful in the battle, especially when versing other large objective secured armies with big blobs of objective secured troops. He can go in there and sort of counteract that. We've then gone and put the Twisted Mask as the relic on him, which is going to allow him to know an additional power, additional psychic power, and add 1 to all his psychic tests as well. Now, the Fell Bond we've gone for on the whole army, we've decided to go with giving them just the extra wounds from the basic sort of household. This is +2 wounds on all War Dogs and +4 wounds on any Titanic models. So, just giving some extra wounds on all the Knights. Now, for those psychic powers, we've gone with Spite Score, which stops units being able to set to defend or overwatch. We've got Storm Malevolent, which adds 1 to attack rolls, unmodified hit roll, wound rolls of a 6, make them target suffer mortal wounds, potentially just getting some extra damage through with the unit. And then we've got Winds of the Warp as well, where each time this Psycho loses a wound, you roll a d6 on a 5+, the wound's not lost, and it goes to putting on all War Dog class household friendly models around him, not having the wounds lost on a 6 within 6 inch of him. And so, we've got a bunch of different things on him. You can choose whichever weapons you really want to choose. Now, we are a perfect 1,000 points here at 54 power level. So, if you're trying to find some extra points, we can look at those War Dog Carnivore squads. Now, the one of them here you can see has the Diabolus Heavy Stubbers on them. These are 5 points cheaper than the Havoc Melchi launchers. So, if you are trying to find a couple of extra points for your Knight Abominant, you can definitely sort of play around with that. That's what you wish to do, but I think this is a pretty fun lot of models to play around with. 4 War Dog Carnivores here, 2 with multi-launchers, 2 with the Diabolus Heavy Stubbers for a nice variation of model. 5 models is really nice for a Knight's Army at this point, plus you've got the cool big Knight in there. If you've been playing with Chaos Knights, let us know what you've been doing and how you've been going down in the comments below. And so, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And drop us a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by joining our Patreon or YouTube members, or grabbing some channel merch off our merch store on Teespring, which is on our YouTube store as well. You can also come chat with me and other members of our little community here and our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description, along with the Patreon and YouTube members links. And as a special shout out to all those Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giapi390. And a special thank you to our YouTube members: Greenroots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Locke Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Sean Scott, Pink Nico Fire, and Robin Mankiller as well. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, and to everyone who comes on the channel and helps us create everything we do. Thank you all for watching once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.